My name's Louie Whitemore and I'm a set and costume designer. I work in theatre, opera and dance, as well as site-specific performances and events. In the loosest terms, my job is to create a best possible version of a story for an audience to enjoy. It's about leading a team of people to try and create the world in which the action takes place for any particular performance. I grew up in a tiny village known as Watermillock on the edge of Lake Ullswater, where my parents ran a hotel. I certainly took it for granted living in such an amazing location just because we were in the middle of nowhere, but I know now it's been a huge advantage to me. Thanks to a very persuasive drama teacher at school, I applied to go to the National Youth Theatre at the age of 15. I raised some money and I lived and worked in London during the summer holidays from school. When I was at school, I worked really hard, but I found the academic subjects particularly difficult. So I applied for an entirely practical degree. I studied technical and production arts at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama, now the Royal Scottish Conservatoire, based up in Glasgow. I was able to take part in every role backstage in theatre. So I did carpentry, I did scenic painting, I rigged lights, I made sound effects, I did Greek Orthodox priest hats for 2 weeks in my costume allocation, and I also designed a model box and show for a fairy tale. My final year at uni, I designed 2 shows. I loved the process of designing those shows. It's entirely collaborative. You get to work with all sorts of different people with all sorts of different skill sets from all different walks of life. After my last year of uni, I went on to do a master's at Motley Theatre Design course, and I've been designing set and costumes for the last 14 years. The best thing about my job is probably the people I meet and the places I get to go, and the fact that it is non-stop learning. There is always something new to learn about. I've been to Germany and I've worked in opera houses. I've been to ballet companies in Lithuania. I've worked in refugee camps in Palestine. I've toured America. I've done an Urdu Shakespeare in Pakistan, and I've even done the first ever Noel Coward in Beijing. I start with a script. I give it a read. I then do a bit of research. I go to a library and see what images I can find. I then do some sketches, very rough ideas, stick people, totally acceptable. I then make a white card model. That gives me a rough shape of everything that I want to have on stage. I then paint it, which gives me all the final touches, along with making tiny model furniture to go into that space. Finally, with everybody else's help, stage management, crew, carpenters, scenic painters, wardrobe, sound, lighting, we make the final show that you as audience members get to see. As it's my local theatre, I've always wanted to come and work at Theatre by the Lake. When I finished university, I even applied a couple of times for a resident position, but sadly didn't make it. In 2017, I first worked here. I presented 2 shows. I designed for Handbagged in the main space and Miss Julie in the studio. I then returned the following year and did another 2 shows, Single Spies and Bold Girls. And then for 2019, I was able to design the 3 main house shows, which were Lady Killers, The Rise and Fall of Little Voice, and Alan Ayckbourn's Dear Uncle. My job is to try and tell the best possible version of a story to a member of the audience. It's the process of trying to tell that story that makes me creative, or makes me be creative. I'm trying to provoke a reaction. I want the audiences to leave a show that I have designed thinking and feeling something. If you'd like to learn more, please come join my workshop. It's a chance to learn a little bit more about set and costume design, my process, and even have a go at designing something yourself.